Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, Sunday, December 14th. Ian Cameron with you. Alex B. Smith will be here in a moment. He's got system updates, computer updates. Those are the worst. I know. It's happened to me a lot, but he'll be on with us after those are finished. And we're here to break down this Sunday NHL card. Not a bad slate for a Sunday. We got 6 games, a Sunday 6-pack of NHL action on tap for you. We'll get to that in a moment. We'll recap Saturday for you in a moment. We want to remind you that we are 2 days away from our final Ice Guys live betcast of the year 2025. We sure hope you join us for it. Tuesday, December 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, our final betcast of the year, open to everybody, free for all. So make sure you join us. You can DM or email either of us, me or Alex, to join the betcast. We'll send you the link before it begins. It's our final Ice Guys live betcast of the year, Tuesday night, December 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Looking forward to it. Make sure you join us for it. All right, let's get to Saturday. It's been a great week in the NHL from a betting standpoint overall. Really tremendous week. It was really great, in the Tuesday card. We had some really good results earlier in the week. Last night was not the best. It's been, as Harry Neal once said, even Betty Crocker burns the odd cake. And, it wasn't the best day from a betting standpoint yesterday. It started with New Jersey. Give them credit. 4-1 win against Anaheim. Pretty solid game from them. All around against a very good Anaheim Ducks team. Jake Allen, rock solid in net. I thought they defended very well. When New Jersey had the lead, this has been an issue for them. Not always having that great team defense, but a nice effort to close that game out and get the 4-1 win. Minnesota, 3-2. They rescue themselves because they were up 2-0, and then Ottawa ends up getting a goal late in the second, and then a power play goal in the third to tie it. But Joel Eriksson Ek, with 24 seconds left with the game-winning goal, 3-2 Minnesota in that one. Unfortunate result for Ottawa just because I thought they played well. 36-25 were the shots. Jesper Wallstedt, another very strong start. It's the first time I've had a bet against him. May not have a bet against him again anytime soon, but he was solid. I thought Ottawa deserved a better fate, but like I said, a 3-2 Minnesota win there. The game of the day, by far, an unbelievable, incredible comeback from the San Jose Sharks, and every bit as bad, horrific, embarrassing, pathetic a loss as it was a comeback win for San Jose that it was for Pittsburgh, and just a horrendous loss. Awful. You cannot lose that hockey game when you're up 5-1 with 12 minutes to go in the third period. But, what changed that game was a hit on Will Smith. And credit to Macklin Celebrini. You know how tight him and Will Smith are. They're all like the inseparable duo when it comes to the San Jose Sharks. Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini. And for Celebrini to get in there and defend his teammate, that seemed to just get everybody charged up and riled up on San Jose. And from that point on, that's when the comeback started. John Klingberg, power play goal. Will Eklund made it 5-3. Celebrini, with the extra attacker, made it 5-4. And then 2 goals with the extra attacker for San Jose because Tyler Toffoli gets the tying goal with 1:38 left to make it 5-5. Just incredible stuff. And John Klingberg again in overtime. What a feed it was from Celebrini over to Klingberg to beat, obviously, Artur Shilovs, and just a spectacular win for this young San Jose team. What guts, what resilience, what no-quit attitude they showed, and a 6-5 comeback over Pittsburgh, which made me happy. We swept the board in that game. We had the over by Fecta. We had San Jose money line. We had San Jose team total over. So it was a great result for me. It was a game that really helped in the overall bottom line yesterday. But San Jose, tremendous. And for Pittsburgh, you're left wondering what the hell happened. It's a terrible loss. And now it's 4 games in a row that the Penguins have lost. So the skid continues here for this Penguins team. 3-2 Islanders, give them credit. A 3rd straight win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. How about that? Islanders just keep on finding ways to win. 3-2. I mean, I thought Tampa Bay outplayed them significantly, but Sorokin was phenomenal in that game, no question. Give him all kinds of credit. And they were opportunistic with the chances they got. The New York Islanders getting that 3-2 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning in that game. Vegas beats Columbus 3-2. I'm glad I had at least more on the first period looks. I was concerned about whether Columbus was going to be able to hang on and actually win the game, but we did have a great read early. We took Columbus first period money line, Columbus first goal of the first period at plus 140. It was a really good price. I think Alex used that as his best bet for the show yesterday. Charlie Coyle getting that first goal of the game. That was great to see that. So I ended up working out pretty okay in this game overall from a betting standpoint. But Vegas comes back. They were down 2-1 in the third, but Ben Hutton and Braden McNabb, couple goals from defensemen to pull them through to a 3-2 win. Great road trip for Vegas. 9 out of a possible 10 points for them. And you wonder if they're going to be a little bit dopey going home. I've got maybe a fade of Vegas coming up in that first home game, at least first goal of first period type deal in their next game. So, like I said, keep that spot in mind when they return home to T-Mobile Arena. What else did we see last night in the Saturday slate as we roll along? Terrible third period from Toronto. Well, they didn't play great for most of the game, but that third period, I mean, they were only down 3-2 going into the third, and it was awful. Shoddy defending, turnovers, loss of coverage in front of the net. Edmonton getting to the blue paint, Toronto not getting to the blue paint to score goals. That was a big storyline in the game. And Tristan Jarry, look, the Oilers, I said they were going to defend well and play hard for Tristan Jarry. They didn't give Toronto a whole lot. They outshot Toronto by a wide margin. And Tristan Jarry victorious in his Oilers debut last night, 6-3 win over Toronto. Yeah, as always, when Ian bets an under, head for the hills. No shot with that one going under the total. Now you know I don't bet many of them. Next up, we've got Washington and Winnipeg. Winnipeg 5-1 over Washington. This was frustrating because I did not expect Connor Hellebuck back this quickly, but he was activated from injured reserve and he was in. I wouldn't have bet Washington. Probably wouldn't have bet Washington if I knew that. But give Winnipeg credit. Certainly happy to see Connor Hellebuck back in between the pipes and a 5-1 win for the Jets. Pretty impressive how he played considering he's been out for some time. So great job by Winnipeg there to snap their little drought. This was a tough one. I mean, we liked Montreal quite a bit. They were up 3-0. And unfortunately, that same great team defense against Pittsburgh, we did not see it from Montreal. Fowler wasn't as sharp either, but they didn't help him out anywhere close to the level they did against Pittsburgh. But give the Rangers credit. Finally found some offense at home, battled back from multiple deficits, down 3-0, down 4-2, and then get the overtime winner from JT Miller to get a 5-4 win over the New York Rangers there in that one. We cashed the draw, Carolina-Philly. Great to see that. We had the draw in that game. Hurricanes with a 4-3 shootout win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Once again, Philadelphia right in the game, just can't close. Kochetkov and Ersson. I also grabbed a small over. I put it up on the Patreon page. I figured with Ersson in net, 5.5, it could have gone over, and it did. There were two teams that didn't have anything last night as far as anything in the tank. I shouldn't say that about Chicago. Chicago did push in the third period, but I thought in the first two periods they were not very good. But they did push in the third, but it was too little, too late. 4-0 Detroit. They shut out the Chicago Blackhawks in that game yesterday. Tough spot, obviously, for Chicago on the back-to-back, but you got to give John Gibson credit, a shutout for him. He's played better lately. This has been by far the best stretch of hockey we've seen this year from John Gibson. See if he can keep that rolling. I'm sure when Alex gets on here, he'll talk about the 5 minutes of fandom of Arvid Soderblom might be over now for as long as that lasted. Not a pretty start to the game for him last night, but Detroit with the 4-0 victory over Chicago. Yeah, and the great ceremony, which is worth mentioning. Wayne Mesmer, a legend, former anthem singer of the Blackhawks back in the Chicago Stadium days, way back when sang the national anthem last night. That was great to see. Loved seeing that. And brings back memories of yesteryear. The team that really didn't have anything in the tank, they looked tired, they looked exhausted, they looked like they were skating in mud, skating in quicksand. They just had nothing. Dallas. Oh, my God, they were just wretched, woeful, pathetic. Couldn't get anything mustered. They only had 2 shots on goal after the first period, 9 after the second period, 15 for the game. They had nothing. They had absolutely nothing last night. 4-0 shutout for Florida. Florida played well, don't get me wrong, but Dallas didn't have their skating legs. They looked like they were tired, exhausted. It looked like this is definitely, you're going to see this from time to time with all these games in a short period of time. Schedule is going to catch up to certain teams, and there's going to be games like that where it doesn't look like they've got any push in them whatsoever. And that was the case last night for the Dallas Stars, getting shut out there by Florida 4-0. So they did nothing to help me with the over. So frustrating to lose that one as the best bet. But hey, it's been a good run with best bets. Can't win them all. Next up, we saw obviously Colorado 4-2 against Nashville. They get the job done, avenging the loss earlier this week. First period over hits, full game over pushes, and more importantly, if you listen to what we said yesterday about the goal in the first 5 minutes for Colorado home games, which was on an 11-1 run going into last night, now a 12-1 run for the goal in the first 5 minutes in Colorado home games. So that's just something you got to ride. And I was able to get plus 162 on that at FanDuel. So you're still getting excellent prices without a doubt. So like I said, something to pay attention to, and keep looking at those Colorado home games as far as getting that goal in the first 5 minutes. It's been fun to see that, just continue to cash game in and game out. And a pathetic game by the LA Kings. Pathetic. At home again, terrible effort. What were they outshot? 30-10 after the first 2 periods at home. Disgraceful, inexcusable, pathetic, horrific, horrendous, embarrassing, humiliating, whatever words you can think of. That was absolutely horrendous by this LA Kings team. They're lucky as shit they even got a point out of that game and got it to overtime. Kemper's the only guy that showed up last night for the LA Kings, and Calgary, deservedly so, getting the win, finally putting it away. Morgan Frost wins it in overtime, 2-1 over the LA Kings. Terrible game. They've had way too many of these, especially on home ice, but I'm not even surprised anymore with what we're seeing from them. All right, let's turn our attention now to Sunday. Alex can talk about last night when he gets on, but we'll start moving on to today and the Sunday slate, because we do have a game that's about to start in about 15 minutes. The Vancouver Canucks and the New Jersey Devils. We've got New Jersey minus 125, home favorites in this game. The total sitting at 5.5 across the board. I've got Vancouver here to get the day started, and the money's come in on Vancouver. It's Jacob Markstrom, who hasn't been good lately. He got yanked in the last game. I know it's against his old team. Maybe that fires him up. Maybe that motivates him, but he's not playing well right now for the New Jersey Devils in net at all, quite honestly. And I think Vancouver gets some adrenaline. You get on the road, you have some adrenaline, you have some excitement, you get a little infusion of these new faces from Minnesota entering the lineup, and all 3 of them are going to play, by the way. Liam Ogren's in the lineup, Zeev Buiem is in the lineup on defense, and activated off injured reserve, Marco Rossi will also make his Vancouver Canucks debut here. So great timing as far as the trade's concerned, with Rossi being eligible to come off the injured reserve list. So they'll all play. All these guys acquired in the big Quinn Hughes deal will be in the lineup here for the Vancouver Canucks today. Zeev Buiem, Liam Ogren, and Marco Rossi. And Adam Foote is throwing Marco Rossi right up there with Brock Besser and Jake DeBrusk, it looks like, to center the top line here today for the Vancouver Canucks. So I just like, you're going on the road, got a chance to get things going. Plus, who the hell trusts New Jersey to have 2 good games in a row? When's the last time the Devils have been able to string together 2 good games, 2 wins, 2 good performances in a row? I know they're on no travel on the back-to-back, but it is still a back-to-back situation for them. They haven't won 2 in a row since the end of November. I'm not sure I fully trust them to win 2 in a row here. I thought Vancouver was a good situational bet. The price was decent. I got plus 115. It's down to plus 105. I still like it. Nice look toward the Canucks here to get the day started. Plus, they've been better on the road. Now, they haven't been great on the road, but they've been awful at home. Vancouver 4-11 at home. They've got 7 road wins compared to 4 home wins this year. So I took a Vancouver bet here to get it going today. Totals wise, 5.5 I lean over, but I'm lukewarm on the total. I definitely prefer the Vancouver money line here in this one. As far as props, just Marco Rossi, sprinkled goal and an assist prop for him. He's going to get the opportunity, the top line center spot. So why not? a little dabble there with that here in this game today for New Jersey. Here's the one thing we got right with the New Jersey game yesterday was some of those Devils props. We talked about Connor Brown. He scored in the empty net. We talked about Cody Glass repair, Cody Glass replace. We talked about him. He scored for New Jersey yesterday as well. And Dawson Mercer had chances and almost scored. And he's the other player we mentioned playing on the top line now. So Mercer, Brown, and Glass, the three players we mentioned, I thought they all played very good games yesterday in the win against the Anaheim Ducks. So I think for props on the New Jersey side of the equation, those three players are well worth consideration here once again this afternoon. All right, next up, we've got Utah, the Mammoth, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I guess the good news is for Pittsburgh, they get to get right back at it and play again after that debacle, that monstrosity that took place yesterday. 5-1 lead blown in the third period, losing 6-5 to the San Jose Sharks. Utah, Pittsburgh, total 6 here. Another reason why I'm on the not rushing to bet the overs early in these games today is because of the fact that Jonathan's pointed this out. We'll reiterate it. The Sunday unders before in games prior to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time have been crazy as far as cashing in. It's been a strong under day in the NHL Sundays throughout the course of the season, especially those early games. I mean, the run here with the it's I think it's one of these deals where you got to tread lightly with the overs here in these early start games. I'm just it's because it has been strong on a Sunday. 29-8-1. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Yep, 29-8-1 for Sunday unders in the NHL for games prior to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So that's pretty strong. It definitely gives you pause. Here's the thing that's conceptually makes you think maybe this is an under here. Doesn't Pittsburgh have to focus on cleaning up defensively after yesterday? Don't they have to in this game? You would think so. When you have that kind of collapse, that kind of defensive implosion like they had against San Jose, don't you have to focus, on shutting it down, playing tighter, playing conservatively, playing better and stronger and more structured in your own zone? Doesn't that have to be the focus for Pittsburgh after a game like yesterday? That's why maybe you could see this one maybe being a bit lower and slower. Karel Vejmelka's projected in net for Utah. I do think we're going to see Murashov, and Murashov's going to get some looks now. Sergei Murashov is a guy that's now going to get a lot more playing time after, because Skinner's not there yet. Skinner has got visa issues for the Pittsburgh Penguins, so we're not going to see him right away at this point. This could take a while because of this nonsense that's going on right now with how difficult it is to get to the U.S. from the other side, because of what's going on. It's going to be a Skinner, taking forever probably to get to Pittsburgh as far as, getting to Pittsburgh, getting with his team, and as far as, being able to finally start, in net. So right now you got to work with Shilovs and you got to work with Murashov. Now, Murashov's been solid in the small sample size. But Murashov's got a 1.90 goals against average and .913 save percentage for this Pittsburgh Penguins team. When you look at his starts, gave up 3 against the Kings. That was back on November 9th. He had a shutout against Nashville. Very impressive. One of the games over in Stockholm, Sweden, which was good to see. 3 goals versus Seattle. Not terrible, but he's been decent, They've been decent here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. More importantly, it's not going to matter how he plays. It's going to be, how a situation here for, this game where Pittsburgh's going to just have to play better defensively. I don't care who's in net. You play like you did yesterday in that third period, you're going to give up goals. It's really that simple. So this is a game where I'm going to sprinkle on the draw. Pittsburgh's suddenly become a team that's played a lot of overtime games lately. I could certainly see that being the case, but that's all I got here in this game. Utah obviously is going on the road here where they've had their share of issues. Pittsburgh situationally, I think I might bet Pittsburgh first goal of first period. I don't trust them for 60 minutes. How can you? How many times can you watch this team implode with a lead and cough up a lead in the third period? Third periods have been horrific lately for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But coming out of the gate strong, following the debacle yesterday, I could clearly see that being the case. So I will dabble with the Pittsburgh first goal of first period. You can get that at a plus price. I'll sprinkle on the draw as well. That's going to be about it for me as far as that game side or total. Player prop wise, we've mentioned Tommy Novak, obviously, for the Pittsburgh Penguins of late. We'll see if he's, but like I said, he's on the third line now. They've dropped him a little bit, but still worth a look. Raquel's back to the top line with Crosby and with Rust for the Pittsburgh Penguins here in this game. Dylan Guenther's red hot for Utah. I mean, I would just, you're not getting a great price, but he's the one guy that's really got it rolling here for the Utah Mammoth right now. So I don't mind a Dylan Guenther prop look here either. All right, Philadelphia and Carolina. We got Kakalaki here, minus 250 home favorites, 5.5 the total here in this game. This is definitely goalie dependent. This Carolina musical chairs of goaltenders always leaves you scratching your head. Who the hell is going to be in net one game to the next? Sometimes it's like a Rolodex right now. Some nights it could be Freddie Anderson, the old man. It could be Pyotr Kochetkov one night, and it could be Brandon Bussey, who to me has been the best of the three goaltenders lately here for the Carolina Hurricanes. So we'll see how this plays out in this one. Dan Vladar should get the start for Philly because we saw Ersson last night in the first game of this home-and-home set between the Flyers and the Hurricanes. I've got Bussey projected, but I do not have that confirmed as of yet for the Carolina Hurricanes in this game. It makes sense. I think Anderson, believe it or not, has finally Rod Brind'Amour has lost some faith and lost some confidence in Freddie Anderson. So, that's definitely concerning with what we're seeing right now from this team. Because Rod Brind'Amour has been a staunch supporter. He's gone to bat for Frederik Andersen time and time again, and now he can't even find the stomach to put him in net recently for this Carolina team. So that tells you where their confidence is in him right now. But Carolina, like I said, their offense is still very capable. It's good to see Nick Ehlers starting to heat up, which they've been waiting on. Obviously, Seth Jarvis has been great. Jackson Blake's chipped in. The captain's even been scoring a little bit lately. They've certainly gotten a lot of contributions from multiple players. So this is a wait and see game for me. If it's Freddie Anderson, I'm interested in Philly, plus 220, in a revenge spot, short turnaround, losing last night. But like I said, if it's Bussey, I still might, lean a little bit to Philly. It's a big price for, with Philly losing the game last night, but I'd be much less interested. The draw, I'm coming back to that for sure, 100%. I definitely think we could see another close competitive game here on the back-to-back. The draw is what I've moved on. I've got different things circled depending on Carolina's starting goaltender for the game. As far as, if it's Anderson, we like Philly. We like Philly team total over. If it's Bussey, we may stay off that. If it's Kochetkov, it won't be Kochetkov. It'll be Bussey or Anderson. They won't put Kochetkov in on back-to-back. But that's concerning, Robert, the Vladar numbers against Carolina. But he's still the better of the two options for Philly right now, and Philly off the loss. I'm interested in Philly at this price. It's too big of a price to me with Carolina here. But like I said, I'm waiting to see who's in net here for the Carolina Hurricanes before moving forward. The only bet I've made as of now, pregame, in that Flyers-Hurricanes game is that draw. All right, next up, we've got Boston and Minnesota. Minnesota minus 135 home favorites, 5.5, 6 the total here in this game. Obviously, we saw Volstead yesterday. I thought maybe they'd keep Volstead for the big Quinn Hughes debut tonight against Boston, but that was not the case. Volstead started yesterday against Ottawa, played well, 3-2 win for the Minnesota Wild in that game. I think when you look at this matchup here, this is obviously the building is going to be buzzing here at Grand Casino Arena. Quinn Hughes making his debut. Everyone's going to be excited about that, no question. Like I said, it looks like as of now, John Hines is going to slot Quinn Hughes with Brock Faber. No brainer. That's what you do. The two studs on this team on the blue line, the two future pillars and cornerstones of the Minnesota Wild blue line together on the top pair, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber. After that, you got Zach Bogosian, Jared Spurgeon, Damon Hunt, David Jiricek. And by the way, Jonas Brodin, shocker, out due to injury. Never saw that one coming. Another injury for that guy. Never saw that one coming. But when you look at this matchup here against the Boston Bruins, I'm not stepping in front of Boston. I'm not laying a price against Boston right now. Boston's got some confidence. They're scoring goals. Geeky's been great. Pasternak, back in the fold again, which has certainly helped this team of late as well. They've gotten contributions from, Alex Steves since he's been on the top line. Middlestat started to chip in. Fraser Minton, had 3 goals in a couple of games earlier this week. So, they are getting a bunch of contributions here. They've got confidence. They got the rest advantage because they played Friday in Winnipeg and getting that 6-3 win, 4-game win streak, 5-1 in their last 6 games are the Boston Bruins. So lots of excitement for Minnesota. Not sure I'm fading Minnesota here in the Quinn Hughes debut because my theory is Vancouver and Minnesota are going to bring energy today with the new faces. Just one new face for Minnesota, a bunch for Vancouver, but they're going to bring energy to the proceedings today, and that's certainly going to help their cause as far as winning this particular game. But like I said, this is one where I'm going to look for an in-game bet of some kind. I'm not strong on the total. I'm not strong on the side. I would lean Bruins here, plus 115 because of the price and the way they're playing. But at the same point in time, Minnesota, that building is going to be energized. The team should be energized with Quinn Hughes making his Wild debut. Philip Gustafson confirmed in net for the Minnesota Wild, and it should be Jeremy Swayman for the Boston Bruins. Because remember, Korpisalo got the start Friday night against Winnipeg, so we should see Jeremy Swayman here tonight for the Boston Bruins. As far as props go, I mean, a lot of people, how popular are Quinn Hughes props going to be tonight in this game? Everyone and his brother, Joe Public, Joe Casual, NHL bettor is going to want to bet Quinn Hughes props in his Minnesota Wild debut. I'm not saying it won't win, but I'm just telling you, everyone's going to want a piece of that action as far as Quinn Hughes, props to make an impact in his first game with the Minnesota Wild. And it wouldn't totally shock me. I think the weight's been lifted off his shoulders, the black cloud. It's almost like, he'd gone through a state of complete and utter depression toward the end of his tenure with the Vancouver Canucks. So, like I said, definitely something to watch for. Alex likes the draw. I wouldn't talk anyone out of that here necessarily. Bruins and Wild draw. I could see that. Might dabble in that myself. But as far as props go on the Boston side, I'm going back to the same guys. Alex Steves, Fraser Minton. These are guys that have legit value right now and have been contributing, offensively to the cause of late for the Boston Bruins. So those are a couple of props on their side that I'm very much going to maybe take a look at here tonight in this game. All right, we got 2 games left. We've got Edmonton and Montreal. Edmonton minus 125, minus 130, road favorites here in this game, and the total sitting at around 6.5 across the board. You've got Edmonton coming in riding high off a very nice win against Toronto, 6-3 last night in that game. Montreal losing in overtime, 5-4 to the New York Rangers. No, Jacob Fowler will not go undefeated in his NHL career. I'm kidding, of course, facetious when I say that. But definitely, when you look at last night, Montreal did not defend as well as they did against Pittsburgh. And that's troubling, because, as much as they want to hope Fowler is a big upgrade, and I think he still is somewhat of an upgrade from Dobish and Montembeault, the team still needs to play good defensively as well, and you didn't get that same type of showing from Montreal in their own zone. There's just too many easy looks, too much space, too much time given to the New York Rangers in the offensive zone last night. So we'll see if Montreal can rectify that. Now, pretty damn sure we're not going to see Jacob Fowler tonight on a back-to-back. It's a question of, does Marty St. Louis, who does he trust of the 2 guys that are struggling? Who does he trust more, Jakob Dobish or Samuel Montembeault? I think it's going to be Dobish tonight, if you ask me. It hasn't been confirmed, but I would expect it to be him. For Edmonton, Cal Pickard is going to get the start for the Edmonton Oilers here in this game tonight. And Cal Pickard, when you look at his numbers, 4 goals allowed in that. They beat Seattle 9-4, but he gave up 4 goals in that game. The 9-1 loss to Colorado, he gave up 5 goals in that game. He gave up 4 goals in a loss to the Vancouver Canucks, who, as you know, have not had a great season. And he faced Montreal earlier this year in October. He got the start against the Canadiens. Cal Pickard out in Edmonton And that was a game where, yes, Edmonton won in overtime 6-5, but he gave up 5 goals in that game. I like Montreal team total over. I don't love the money line on Montreal. It's weird because usually when I'm leaning toward a dog, like I am here with Montreal, I split with the money line and the team total. But I don't trust Montreal defensively fully. And I don't trust Dobish or any goaltender they put in tonight fully against an Edmonton team that's now scoring again. The last, I would say, 3, 4, 5 games, we've seen this Edmonton offense come to life. So I would rather just bank on Montreal doing their thing offensively here in this spot against Cal Pickard, who they put 5 goals past earlier this season when these teams played in Edmonton. So I like the team total for Montreal. It's 2.5 with it's actually a little too pricey at 2.5 minus 160. So I'll go to the over 3 with the Montreal team total. You can find that at minus 114. Bounce back spot. They're off a loss. Edmonton feeling good, riding the high of the big win against the not so mighty Toronto Maple Leafs, but still feeling good about winning that game last night. I could see Edmonton having their hands full with Montreal, but again, having their hands full with Montreal's offense because I trust to have Montreal more to score tonight rather than, defensively, and either goaltender that Marty St. Louis chooses, who hasn't been great of late. So I'm going to go with the Montreal team total here, over 3, minus 114. Jonathan alluding to the Dobish slow starts, giving up the first goal in 23 of his 32 starts. So if you like Edmonton first goal, first period, I don't hate it, just because we have seen him give up an early goal. But for me, I'm going to go with that Montreal over 3 team total. As far as props go for this game, you look at Edmonton rather. They've had Savoy Podkolzin, man. Podkolzin especially. Podkolzin's red hot right now, playing with Leon on that second line. He's really turned up his game. He scored 4 goals in the last 5 games for the Edmonton Oilers, 5 points during that 5-game span as well. So it's hard not to look toward Vasily Podkolzin at the moment for Edmonton with what he's been doing on that line with Draisaitl. Certainly that stands out. I think on the Montreal side of the equation, Kapanen in good form offensively. Bolduc is starting to percolate again, at the offensive end now that he's up on the top line for Montreal. So it's a good prop game. It really is. There's some good opportunities here. Podkolzin's red hot. Bolduc now on the top line starting to chip in again. Like I said, Oliver Kapanen, is a guy that's certainly been noticeable of late as well. So a couple of good props here to consider for the Oilers Habs tonight in La Belle Province. All right, our final game for this Sunday slate. Not exactly a barn burner as far as two teams struggling, two teams that are near the bottom of their respective conferences. But nevertheless, Buffalo Sabres, Seattle Kraken. We've got Buffalo minus 120, road favorites, 5.5, 6 the total here in this game. So shop around as far as the total. There are still some 5.5s out there, but they're starting to slip away. So keep that in mind. So now we did mention earlier how strong unders have been in the NHL on Sundays for games prior to 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, this game is at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, so technically it does not apply to how dominant unders have been on Sunday. And this is the over I like the most. And this has nothing to do with trying to avoid the Sunday under streak. This is right from the beginning when I handicapped this card. This was the game I liked the over the most in for this entire slate. And here's why. Look at that Buffalo-Seattle series history. Look at it. Over Paloozas. 7-1 to the over in the 8 meetings between the Sabres and Kraken, and all 8 meetings have had at least 6 goals. Not one has fallen fewer than 6 goals between these two teams. 5-2, 7-4, 5-1, 4-3, 5-2, 6-2, 6-2, 6-4. The final scores in all of these Buffalo-Seattle games. So it's just been one over after another. Buffalo at the end of a long road trip. It's been a pretty exhausting one for them. They started in Philly to Winnipeg to Calgary to Edmonton to Vancouver, and now they end it here in the Emerald City, Seattle, before they go home to play Philadelphia. I could see defensive lapses galore, breakdowns galore, just fatigue issues showing up here in this game for Buffalo. It's been a long road trip, and when you're tired physically, you're tired mentally, it shows up defensively. You make mistakes with the puck. You have issues, and the fact that this could be a UPL Ukko Pekka Luukkonen pick to back a pickle pepper start. He's projected for Buffalo. He's the goalie probably for them that I trust the least right now. It certainly could open the door for this Seattle offense. And look, here's the thing with Seattle. They've started to score goals a little bit. 4 against Edmonton, 3 against Detroit, 3 in a win against LA. They did score 3 in a loss against Utah in their last game. They're starting to score a little bit more at least, but now their defensive game has fallen apart on them, which has been the foundation for the Kraken. That's been what they've leaned on, their defense. And now they've given up 4 to Edmonton, 9 to Edmonton, 4 to Detroit, 4 to Minnesota, 5 to Utah. Joey DeCord's having an issue right now. His confidence isn't the same. And, of course, when they put Grubauer in there, you're not going to get a reliable performance most nights. So you put it all together, and I think we're going to see goals here tonight in Seattle. The series history is dominant, 7-1 to the over. In fact, if you get a 5.5 for this total like I did, because I got over 5.5 minus 130 in this game, that's 8-0 to the over in the series history, because all 8 games have had at least 6 goals. So if you find the 5.5 with this total, you're 8-0 in the series to the over, if you can find that 5.5. So I like over. I got over 5.5. Again, those 5.5s are getting away. There's still an over 5.5 minus 140 with juice at FanDuel. You can take that. If it's too much of a price to lay, in your opinion, you can go with over 6 instead. But definitely liking the over 5.5 and the first period over as well. Good stat by Terry Ray Vegas. I'm going to turn it into a bifecta because it is 7-0 to the first period over in the last 7 Buffalo-Seattle games head-to-head as well. So, I think it's just, this is one of these deals where Seattle's thought of as an under team, but lately they're scoring a bit more. Their defense has fallen off. And now you can take advantage of that with these 5.5 totals. So Sabres Kraken over bifecta is what I like. I don't really feel strongly about the side. I'd lean Seattle. I don't trust Buffalo in this spot. They have won a couple in a row against Vancouver and Edmonton, and that's usually when you want to fade Buffalo, is coming off a couple of wins. It's the end of a road trip. They're excited about getting home. I could only back the Seattle side, the Seattle Kraken here at plus 100 in this game, but I can't say I'm rushing to bet Seattle right now in their current form. By the way, has Buffalo won 3 games in a row yet? They haven't. Oh my gosh, they haven't. They had a 2-game win streak in October against Florida and Ottawa. They had a 2-game win streak in October against Toronto and Detroit. They had a 2-game win streak against Detroit and Edmonton in the middle of November. And then they won 2 in a row against Minnesota and Winnipeg. Last game of November and the first game of December. And then, of course, the recent back-to-back wins against Vancouver and Edmonton. They have not won 3 games in a row yet this year. Not once. Not once for the Buffalo Sabres have they won 2 games in a row. 3 games in a row this season. Not once. So, I might sprinkle on Seattle here. It's got all the makings of a Buffalo loss. They haven't won 3 in a row all year. They've won 2 in a row. They're dog-tired. They've been on the road forever. It's the final road game on this trip. They're going home after this. Seattle's off a loss to Utah, so you got to think Seattle's going to play hard tonight. So, yeah, I think I like the overs more, much more. But I think I've talked myself into taking a little bit with Seattle. And by the way, we've already got a goal with Vancouver. That did not take long. Canucks on the board. I should have bet Vancouver first goal, first period. God damn it. Now, better win this game now, because if that hits and I lose this money line on Vancouver, I'm not going to be happy. But good start for Vancouver. They're up 1-0 on New Jersey here in this very early game that just started. All right, as far as props for this game, what do we got here? Now, Josh Norris, we'll have to see if he's able to return. He has missed the last couple games due to an illness. Will he be back for this Seattle game now that he's had a couple days off? There's a potential. Same with Alex Tuch. He's also missed the missed the Vancouver game with that same illness. So keep an eye on the status of Alex Tuch and Josh Norris here for the Vancouver Canucks in this game. As far as props, like I said, we'll see what the lineup ends up being. But Josh Doan's not a bad option. He's been great on this road trip for the Buffalo Sabres. Maybe Benson. He finally got things going the last game. Seattle, I'm going back to the well with Mason Marchment. Mason Marchment's a streaky scorer. We used the bargain bin special with him on Saturday. Tolvanen, by the way, looks like he'll be with Matty Beniers and Jordan Eberle on the top line. So there could be some Ellie Tolvanen value tonight playing on that top line for the Seattle Kraken. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Thanks for joining us even on a Sunday. I know it's a big NFL day, but we don't forget about hockey. And all of you do that join us on the show, so or tune into the show, so we appreciate that. Check out wizardsportspicks.com. All kinds of great handicappers on the site. 8-1 NFL run for me with premium picks at Wizard Sports Picks going into today. It's been a terrific NFL season. We're having multiple sports where we're having documented winning seasons: NFL, NHL, college basketball, all three. NBA slight profit, but still profit. So check it out, wizardsportspicks.com. Profitable in multiple sports. Great NFL season, 8-1 run. Check it out. Get on board some Sunday NFL action there, wizardsportspicks.com. Great handicappers on the site. The Beyond the Lines video is out for the Sunday NFL slate too, so check out the YouTube channel as well for that. Patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 per month. Check it out. Goalie charts, totals charts, daily betting cards, sides, totals, player props posted each and every day on the Patreon page. So check it out. And again, we're going to have more and more Patreon exclusive live betcast once we get into the new year. So that's going to be part of your Patreon membership. The betting card has had great results of late. So what are you waiting for? Give yourself a Christmas gift of a Patreon Ice Guys membership. $10 per month. Your subscription and membership goes a long way to supporting the show and keeping it going long term. So get on board, just $10 per month, patreon.com/Ice Guys. And check out the Ice Guys store, iciguys.myspreadshop.com. Take advantage of 25% off all orders of $50 or more for the next 4 days. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So take advantage of that. 4 more days with that opportunity to get 25% off every order of $50 or more over at the Ice Guys store. Get your gear and your merch over at iciguys.myspreadshop.com. All right, bargain bin special of the night. Best bets coming up right after we hear from our great Ice Guys sponsors.
Wizard Sports Picks, featuring the finest handicappers in the universe. Sharp insights, trusted picks, and relentless results. We strive to help you become consistent winners. This is Wizard Sports Picks.
Kings and Queens shop.
Thanks to all our sponsors, including Royal Cannabis. Check them out, royalcannabisshop.com. 20% off with promo code IceGuys. All right, bargain bin special of the night for this big Saturday slate. Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. Bargain bin special of the night. Let me see. Alex, I'm going to see if Alex had posted his in the chat. There you see it. Oliver Kapanen, Montreal Canadiens, plus 350. That's a good choice. You know, he's definitely on the prop betting card for me. Not my bargain bin, but certainly I think a viable selection right now. My bargain bin special is coming from that same game. And I mentioned him already. He's red hot right now, heating up with Draisaitl. Give me Vasily Podkolzin. Vasily Podkolzin, Edmonton Oilers, plus 500. What a great price that is. BetMGM, Betway, DraftKings, FanDuel, they all have Vasily Podkolzin at plus 500. I think that is an outstanding value right now, given what he has done lately for the Edmonton Oilers. So there you go. Vasily Podkolzin, Edmonton, plus 500. for my bargain bin special of the night. I didn't put the banner up. I just realized. There we go. Bargain bin special of the night. The Silly Pod Coles in Edmonton, plus 500 for me. And Oliver Kapanen, Montreal, plus 350. Bargain bin special of the night for Alex. All right, best bets. You know what we're going with best bet. I was just talking up that total for much of the show. And I'm going to lay the minus 140 that's out there right now at FanDuel, which still has the 5.5 at minus 140. How are we going to argue with 7 of the 8 meetings over the total with 6 goals or more? And all 8 have had at least 6 goals between them. 7-1 to the over. All 8 meetings historically between the Sabres and Kraken have had at least 6 goals. Seattle's scoring a little bit more, a little uptick offensively, and definitely a downturn defensively. They are not defending like they did earlier in the season, and I think we take advantage of that here. Give me Buffalo, Seattle, over 5.5, minus 140 for my best bet here for this Sunday NHL card. And Alex's best bet, there it is, Edmonton, Montreal, draw, plus 333. So there you go. Draw for Edmonton, Montreal for Alex, and I'm on Buffalo, Seattle, over 5.5 for my best bet for this Sunday. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Looking forward to the Betcast Tuesday night. Just one more time, we want to remind you, we really want to get the momentum going behind this. It's our last live Betcast of the year 2025, Tuesday night, December 16th, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. You can call it not just our Ice Guys Live Betcast Tuesday night. You can call it our Ice Guys Christmas party, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to have that feel to it, 9 days out before Christmas. So make sure you get on board and join us for that Betcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got the recently traded goaltenders possibly squaring off. That is, if Skinner can get to Pittsburgh in time. But we might see Skinner Jari face their old teams, Edmonton, Pittsburgh, coming up on Tuesday night. But part of a pretty interesting card coming up. So make sure you check it out. And get on board and join us for the Betcast Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, Sunday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the games and good luck, and we will be back tomorrow on Monday for another edition of the Ice Guys.